Всем здорово! И мы снова в Геншине. Остановились мы здесь. Так, в прошлом ролике что у нас было? Много разговоров и так ничего и не сделали. Мы же там какую-то церемонию делать хотели. Так. Перед этим мы откроем несколько молитв. Тут новый баннер. Ну, я думаю, в следующем ролике мы его откроем. Вот этот вот. Гео-персонаж. Что-то как-то не очень. А вот ее бы надо выбить. Это еще прикольно. Два ледяных. Ноэлька. Ну ладно. Откроем мы вот этот. Ну, погнали. Эпик. Так. Давай персонажа что ли какого-нибудь. Эмбер. Прикольно. Ну, а одно созвездие и откроем. Я думаю, даже в конце ролика еще десятку откроем. Так. Но сейчас мы пойдем выполнять основное задание. Парящий дворец. Где он там? Туда. Опять по горам лазить. Че, нельзя что ли нормального пути сделать? Отдыхай. Угу. Ну и опять началось. Биологии. Активировать. Ну, сейчас посмотрим. Ну да.
Looks like we've gotten close to the Guizhong ballista. Paimon has a new idea.
Это плохая идея.
Why don't we shoot you up to the jade chamber using the ballista?
Угу.
Oh, right. Oh, that's right. Now that you mention it, we could use the Guizhong ballista. Chests appearing out of thin air?
Ну,
This needs research.
и все, что ли? К тому он не пойдем. Он опасный. А кто там такие стоят?
Halt!
Hmm.
Who trespasses on these hallowed grounds?
Exactly. What are you talking about? We're invited guests. What makes you think you can treat us like this? No. Wait. Maybe this was Ningguang's plan. She pretended to invite us to the Jade Chamber, but set up a Millilith ambush here to arrest us. Now Paimon's mad. You, over there. This is a trick, isn't it? How shameless.
What? We're just on guard duty. What do you mean, shameless?
What nonsense! Seize these suspicious intruders at once!
Well, here they come. Line them up and knock them down.
Давай подеремся. Ну, даём. Все, ушел. И тебя тоже. Алло. А, не вниз не падают. Печально. А тут помер, да? Ну ладно, давай подеремся. А не, живой. Хоба. Хоба.
To arms! Attack!
Куда ты провалился?
Take the target alive!
Stand clear.
А и ульту давай туда же. Ну, этот живучий. Давай вот так загасим. Бах.
Take this!
Don't be such a brute.
Да, блин, а, 3 волны. Да чё ты на меня нападаешь?
Animal test 6308.
Фонарик поставим.
Gentle.
Take the target alive. Lithic triad. Attack.
No one escapes my sights.
Take the target alive. Bested.
Все.
Stop. What's all this about?
Ну, кто это такая?
Lady Kuching, these two strange people
Kids.
suddenly appeared.
Who are you calling strange? You want to go to the Jade Chamber? We're invited guests here to look for the Lila Chising. Who are you? Well, as it happens, I am one of the Liyue Chising. Oh! I'm Kuching, the Yuheng of the Chising. I know of you, traveler. You're Ningguang's guests, yes? Wow. Paimon didn't think we'd meet some super rich big shot out here in the middle. The Guizhong Ballista in Tianheng Pass has long been in disrepair. And yet, it was fixed in a single night. I came here to these Millilith are just here to guard the scene, not to arrest anyone. So, this was all a misunderstanding? Paimon never would have thought. Anyway, for a mortal to be able to repair an Adepti mechanism is quite the mystery. That was... Oh, right. So, Lady Yuheng, might you have any idea why Lady Tianchen... Just call me Kuching. I'd say that Ningguang's purpose is to request that the savior of Mondstadt take a more new... We're not taking sides. We spoke with the Adepti. They want to... When you say protect, you're referring to their sanctimonious arrogance, aren't you? Huh? You are mortals, and thus under their protection. There was no way they would have regarded you. Naturally, they would also regard Ningguang's locking down the area, questioning the citizenry, and pursuit of the assassin to be pointless work. Perhaps they even wonder if there might be a cover-up. I'll say it like it is. They're underestimating us. Well, you've got a point there. Still, this is the first time Paimon's seen a person from Liyue who doesn't respect the gods or the Adepti. Should I respect the shallow sense of time and condescension to mortals that has caused them to delay in moving against us, Chising? Forget it. I shouldn't speak of them this way. This skepticism is mine alone, and Ningguang does not share it. Either way, I will admit that the actions of the Adepti this time were quite restrained. Rex Lapis's death is indeed an extraordinary circumstance. But to think that they would call for a council of Adepti rather than come down here directly. How surprisingly civilized of them. Well, for Ningguang, she would talk anything and everything out if she could. But I doubt we can do that here. The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Chising don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue? Another super bold statement. I'll stop here. Honestly, I hadn't intended to say so much. But you're a good listener, traveler. You should both be off to the Jade Chamber. Don't be late now. Ningguang's schedule is packed to the gills all the way till next year. The cream of Liyue's mercantile crop all see ascending to the Jade Chamber as the greatest honor. Each brings rich gifts as they visit, all to curry a little favor with Ningguang. Favor? masks are a staple of Leo's culture. We need to get one.
All right. You can decide on your greeting gift yourselves. Let me tell you how to get to the Jade Chamber first. You didn't actually have to come to Mount Tianheng. Go back to Liyue Harbor. Find a guide at the Yuehai Pavilion, and... well then. May we meet again, traveler.
Well, that Yuheng may not respect the gods, but Paimon thinks she's a pretty cool person. So, what should we give to Ningguang when we see her? Oh, right! Paimon dreamed of an amazing snack last night. Sugar frosted slime! Paimon has a feeling that it would be perfect for a super rich person like Ningguang. Why don't we go with that for a gift? Nope! But Paimon's sure that we just need to make it with some boom shakalaka. Let's go gather ingredients. Time waits for no one, and neither will our riches.
Ладно, полетели.
Huh? Is it just Paimon? Or is there a sweet fragrance in the air? Huh? Did you hear that? It seemed like it came from those ruins over there. Uh-oh. It looks like the treasure hoarders have locked someone inside.
There's no end to this.
You're in for a little shock. Blitz.
Thank you for your help, kind travelers. If you hadn't come to my aid, I surely would have rotted in this cell. Those treasure hoarders, when their mood was good, they'd rearrange those pots of sweet flowers.
Aw, it was nothing. No need to thank us all at once or anything.
I understand. Don't worry. I will compensate you both. Don't say that. I only escaped this predicament because of you. I'm Meng Dan, a supplier for Mingxing jewelry in Liyue Harbor. I often walk around these mountains in search of antiques. I never expected that those treasure hoarders would have their eyes on the same ruins that I had. Is there anything that you lack? Antiques, treasure, various knickknacks, you name it.
Wait a moment. Actually, we are looking for something.
Oh? And what might that be?
Do you have a box that can store presents? We'd like a pretty one.
Of course we do. How can one sell antiques without gift boxes? At Mingxing Jewelry, we have the... Now just give me a moment, and I'll let the boss know. You can go see her whenever you require that box.
Great! Paimon's sugar frosted slime now comes in a beautiful package. Hey there! A guy called Meng Dan told us that we could get a nice and shiny box from your store.
Uncle Meng already told me about it. Thank you both for saving him.
Как он рассказал, если мы только что сюда пришли?
Many of the best goods in our store were found by Uncle Meng. If anything were to happen to him, it would be impossible for us to continue doing business. Here, this container is itself an antique, with at least 140 years of history. It's already been cleaned. Will it do?
Yep. It's great! Hang on a moment. Could we borrow one other thing?
Sure. Please help yourselves. As long as it's...
Traveler, this clay pot looks really awesome.
Зачем ей ваза?
If we use an antique as our mixing bowl, we should be able to make a great snack.
В вазе приготовить еду, да? Круто.
The one and only sugar frosted slime. Carefully now. Into the...
Oh, yes. want to use these 2 freshly picked flowers as decorations too.
Woohoo! It looks beautiful! Great! Now that we've put all that we've got into this box...
А, уже готов. Ну ладно. И опять по этим горам. А нет. Пардон, не по горам. Ну хотя... Ага. Хрен ты туда заберешься. Опа.
What do you think, cutie?
Ну да, конечно.
According to Kuching, this is what we should say. Excuse me, do you sell the moon here?
Yes. How many would you like?
It's not convenient to speak of numbers here.
Ah, well said. Please, use this to ascend to the chamber. Yes, speak.
Yep.
And yet the code they used was not the one for guest, but for the Yuheng. What's going on here?
I've been waiting for you, returnee from Joyun Karst.
It's Ningguang!
Теперь мы пришельцы.
Since this is our first meeting, we've prepared a gift.
Oh, for me. You have my thanks. It's
Oh no, it's nothing.
I'm glad you like it too. This palace floats in the skies, higher than the peak of any mountain. From this vantage point, one may survey all of Liyue. I have been gathering the funds necessary to build it from the time I began learning the merchant's craft. And since becoming the Tianquan, I have spared no effort in hiring the best craftsmen to constantly extend it. At first, it was but the size of one room. Now, it is large enough to blot out the moon in the skies above Liyue. One day, I believe it will overshadow all 7 nations. Not many from outside Liyue earn the right to ascend to the Jade Chamber. But I have been in correspondence with the acting Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius. As such, I have been putting eyes and ears out ever since you reached Liyue.
What?
And I finally got wind of your movements when you were on the way to Wangshu Inn.
Wait! Was Vergoldet one of your people?
Just Vergoldet? No, everyone at Wangshu Inn is one of ours. At the Guizhang Ballista, yes?
You weren't peeking on us from the skies the whole time, were you?
I fear that peeking would have been a little difficult from this altitude. Our eyes and ears are more than sufficient. You two are very interesting people, after all. It would be... Well, I wouldn't expect you to trust us, considering that you have had far more interactions with the Adepti. The reason I invited you here was to clear up some misunderstandings. that you've heard of the Archon War. Many gods used to walk this earth, and many long wars were fought between them that did not abate until 2,000 years ago. Much blood was shed, and many lives were lost. In the end, only 7 victors remained standing in Tevat. They built cities and nations on the corpses of the vanquished, and thus began the era of the 7. You can see Goyun Stone Forest from here, I trust. It is no natural rock formation. Those are giant spears of rock hurled by Rex Lapis during the war. Beneath the spears lie those cast down by Rex Lapis in those days. Gods, not only is it true that gods may die, but so too has the membership of the 7 changed over the last 2 millennia. Rex Lapis's passing is an unimaginable disaster for Liyue, but the Order of the 7 will not collapse simply because of that. Another Lord of Geo will arise sooner or later. Yet, how are we to forget Rex Lapis? When that time comes, the relationship between the people of Liyue and the gods and Adepti will surely be different from before. Even in a new era, the Liyue Qixing remain Rex Lapis's former subjects. Do you really think us capable of having played a part in his demise? That day at Yujing Terrace, it was also very sudden. Even I was caught completely off guard. But our enemy has long lain hidden within the harbor. If we do not act against them now, they will surely gain the upper hand. Hiding the Exuvia was a necessary maneuver to take the initiative back, to play the spider while our foes scurry about.
Who's this enemy you're talking about?
What do you think, traveler?
Huh? What are you two talking about?
Well answered. The scenery out here is fine indeed, but the wind is a little strong. Our preparations to receive guests within are complete, so... Be at ease, you two. Make yourselves at home if you wish.
Can we really?
I have invited you two here as friends. And when friends come over to play, our enjoyment...
Ooh, isn't this that legendary wall?
Why, you've kept your ear to the ground, I see.
That's because even the storytellers are talking about it. Everyone's after a piece of paper from that wall. It's super famous.
That's because that wall records Leo's secrets. Merchants have always been attracted to secrets. But the secrets of the mercantile world are of no interest to you, are they, traveler? You're rather special, really. If possible, I'd like to have your trust. But if you were to choose the more trustworthy person between myself and Kuching... You'd pick Kuching? Nah, I had a feeling. I originally thought her a bit too hard-headed. With someone of her character on the Qixing, I've had some extra messes to clean up behind the scenes. But after she said those words, the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then, well, I must say that quite a few of my doubts have been dispelled. I won't deny that Rex Lapis's passing seems advantageous to us. But, for Liyue's sake, we cannot allow ourselves to be shackled by Indeed. It seems that you understood what I meant to say from the very beginning. I called for the gag order and for the Exuvia to be hidden to temporarily stabilize the situation, and also to prevent something similar to the incident in Mondstadt. With Rex Lapis's death, the Fatui have busied themselves with many clandestine actions beyond their diplomatic remit. As the Tianquan, allowing the rite of parting to take place was also meant to buy some time for us to take control of Liyue's administration.
It's exactly as Zhongli said. The Qixing only provided the venue for their rite so they could use us for their own ends. Wait, that's right. Speaking of ends, could I say
Of course.
Paimon's heard that anyone who sends a greeting gift gets a little something in return. So, does that include us?
It's all right. I like direct people. Well, we have made quite a bit of trouble for you recently. How about this? You can pick any one object here.
Yay! Paimon was just waiting for you to say that. One of the sheets on that wall. Don't look at Paimon like that. One of these sheets of paper will sell for crazy prices, even if it's all. Just imagine. How much more? Let's grab one. The biggest. Huh? Well, that was an easy search. The biggest sheet is right up there in the most obvious spot. Let's go with that one. La 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 la. Let's see what's. Huh? There's a place marked with a circle on here. Oh, could it be treasure? Whatever it is, it better make us filthy. Sigil of permission, something, something, Fatui, research, copy. Aw, that doesn't sound like treasure at all. This piece of paper shows that a Qixing spy discovered traces of. Oh, Ningguang did say that the Fatui have been up to but research on the sigil of permission? Speaking of which, there's also some connection between you and the sigil of permission. Seems there's still more for us to find out. Oh, you really think so? Well, should we not go then? Oh, so you're saying that it's precisely because we can't
Куда она пропала?
Ningguang that we should confirm the truth of what she says for. That's way out of Paimon's league. Paimon thinks she's been nothing. Anyway, we'll see if you're on. Before we look for Zhongli at Dihua Marsh, let's go to the place marked out on these papers.
Вон он. Да ё-моё. Так. Ну, как раз туда можно и тэпнуться. Давай уже экшен какой-нибудь. Хватит разговоров. Уже целых, сколько там, 40 минут. Тупо разговоры слушаем. Ну да, конечно. Какая-то гора еще образовалась. О. Но нам это не сломать, да? Ну-ка, вот так. Так, надо...
Need help? I'm here.
Взять ее. Какие-то загадки опять.
There really were Fatui at the location written down on this piece of paper.
Хоба.
They look really mad at us too.
Так, надо отхилить их.
Ready, steady, go!
Ну и все, погнали. стоять. Вот так вот. Хоба.
You're stuck now.
Мимо. Да, так вот еще сделаем.
Been a naughty boy. Let's spark things up a little.
Давай, давай.
Got something for ya.
-1. Так, это мы сейчас щит снимем.
Come a little closer. You've been a naughty boy.
Let it rain.
О, блин. Каменный. Так, что там? Куда там надо? Тихо. А, ну да, надо всех перебить, конечно.
You're in for a little shock.
Бах. Мазила. Все. То еще где?
This is a new one. This'll pack a punch.
Что-то я вообще его не снимаю ничего.
Try not to enjoy this too much.
Bet you can't keep up with me.
Гори. Хоба. Ну куда ты? А ты куда? Ну, давай так его что ли загасим. Угу. Так вот. Да неужели?
There are so many talismans here. And some stacks of blank Paimon's seen this pattern before. Oh, Paimon knows! It looks just like the sigil of permission the child gave you. But how did a relic of the Adepti end up in the hands of someone like Chai? Oh, that's right. Cloud Retainer said that when the Lord of Geo created the sigil of permission, it wasn't talismans like that were once used in the Archon War to channel divine powers. Maybe the Fatui are copying the sigil of permission in hopes of achieving a similar of being able to channel divine power in battle? Whew, that sounds pretty dangerous. And the plot thickens. We'll need to keep... Alright, that's enough sticking around here. We got the last stop on our rite of parting preparations tour. Let's go! Paimon hates being late.
Хоба. Все, полетели.
Right on time. I myself only arrived moments ago. Did you enjoy your visit to the Jade Chamber?
It was so big and
Indeed. It's second to none in all of Liyue. Then you met with Ningguang, I trust? What did you...
She's super rich and so generous. Paimon thinks she's very friendly. Yeah, his take on Ningguang is quite different from Paimon's. He thinks that even the tactless Yuheng is more trustworthy.
Oh. So you also met with Keqing then? What did she have?
She said the time of the Adepti has long passed.
No respect for the divine. Indeed, contrary to the ever-bold Keqing, Ningguang is more of a businesswoman at heart. Although she's friendly, there's no way of clearly discerning her true intentions. Yes, she has only relied on herself to rise to her current position. No, it's said that she's the one behind the constant expansion of the Jade Chamber. It's the second most important thing to her. Even if she ever...
The Jade Chamber is only second. What's the most important thing?
Why, Mora, of course.
All Ningguang talked about was the Fatui this and the Fatui that. She said that after Rex Lapis was murdered, the Fatui...
That is how the Fatui have always been. It doesn't No matter what they may be planning, you must be careful when dealing with the Fatui. Always be on your guard.
So, is there anything we need to get for the rite of parting in Diwa Marsh?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there is. Today, we'll be gathering wild glaze
lilies? But why did we come all the way out here? Doesn't the garden in Eugene Terrace have some? Even Chingsa Village has glaze lilies. Oh, right! Paimon remembers that Madame Ping is always tending to flowers. Maybe we could ask her.
No. Those lilies have all been gardened by people. They won't do it all. Dihua Marsh used to be full of glaze lilies. It is a sort of joyful flower that listens to human song. Before the Archon War, Dihua Marsh was all dry land and fertile soil. But the war caused landslides, and the land was flooded, turning it into the marsh. Of course, there are some kinds of flowers that have been preserved and gardened by people in the city. But very few people know that wild glaze lilies have the strongest fragrance. If we want to follow the true tradition of the rite of parting, we must grind up the wild lilies and place the powder in a censer of everlasting incense. But I'll need your assistance in gathering these flowers. That's correct. You're sing-
So how good is
Серьезно.
singing? Really? Why doesn't Paimon believe you?
We'll only know once he starts singing.
Да, пошли петь цветам. Круто.
It's time to sing. Whenever you're ready.
О, да неужели? Какую-то ерунду ему озвучили. А нормальных диалогов нет, да? Ты?
Flowers are jumping.
Серьезно, что ли?
They're really angry. Is it because you sang a song for Mondstadt that they don't understand here in Lille?
Даем. Ну давай. Оба.
You've been a naughty boy.
Так, -1. Давайте взорвем.
Come a little closer.
Второй минус. И третий.
Those weren't glaze lilies. Glaze lilies wouldn't hit people.
This little monster is known as a whopper flower. Strange. The glaze lilies used as a disguise were buried with the whopper flower for too long.
Well, that's nice and all, but will those petals be useful for the rite of parting?
Unfortunately, no.
That's so lame.
Excuse me.
О,
Are you searching for glaze lilies?
Oh, hey, it's... What's her face? Paimon can't remember.
Hello, traveler. I'm surprised you still remember my name. Ah, that reminds me. How was your visit to the Jade?
Well, it sure would have been better if you told us how to get up there.
Didn't I tell you the way? Surely I did.
Nope, we found the way on our own.
Oh, I see. Uh-oh. I guess I really did forget to tell them.
Huh. Something seems a little off about Ganyu. She's acting different from the first time we met. Where's her...
Ah, well, I met you at that time as an emissary of the Tianquan. But now, I am simply out on a stroll to see the flowers.
You came all the way out here to see the flowers? Why not just enjoy the gardens of the city?
Yujing Terrace is where Rex Lapis parted from this world. If I strolled through those lonely gardens now, I wouldn't be able to bear it. Whenever my duties take me near Yujing Terrace these days, I draw the windows to block my view of the gardens.
Oh, sorry. We shouldn't have brought it up.
No, it's quite all right. I just haven't processed. When the Archon War came to its end 2,000 years ago, the first iteration of the Seven would gather in Liyue and drink with Rex Lapis. But 5 of those original 7 had already passed before Rex Lapis. Yes, now that the spirit of Rex Lapis has returned to the heavens, only Barbados of Mondstadt remains of the first 7. The other 5, including Inazuma's Raiden Shogun, are no longer the same friends from 2,000 years ago. Of the current 7 Archons, the youngest is Sumeru's god of Dendro. She is merely 500 years old, whereas Rex Lapis was more than 6,000 years old at the time of his passing. This means that Liyue had been under Rex Lapis's rule from the moment it was first founded 3,700 years ago. The city has never had to bid farewell to its deity.
So what do you think of this farewell?
Huh? This is a little sudden. As a mortal, I've never dared to imagine a Liyue without Rex Lapis. But as an Adeptus, I think I will eventually come to grips with reality. Since Rex Lapis has...
Huh? Did you just say, as an Adeptus?
Yes, I am a mix of human and Chilean. Adeptus blood flows through my veins. I fought for... After the war ended, I signed a contract with Rex Lapis and took the position as secretary for the Qixing. I've continued those duties to this very day. Well, let's save that conversation for another day. You say that you are here. I also know where wild glaze lilies can be found. See, I've just picked one myself. Here.
We dare not refuse it.
Oh, so did you sing a song before you picked the lily?
Indeed, I did. I know this tradition well. In fact, I sang a local...
Wow, so you really know your stuff, too. Thanks.
No, it is you who I should be thanking. If not for this chance meeting, I never thought that I would be... If you would excuse me, I should return to my work.
And that just about does it. Our preparations for the rite of... Given the ease
Да неужели?
blaze lilies,
Приготовления
this was a
завершены.
fitting end to our tasks, in more ways than one.
Yeah, Paimon can already imagine him starting a business in Liyue.
I've had enough ventures in my life already. Beginning a new undertaking is always difficult at first, and requires no small amount of effort. And once business, so you must be careful to take the time to step back and re-examine yourself. If left unchecked, the wear and...
Wow. See? Zhongli sounds like he's already seen it all. Alright, I think it's about time we head back.
А, это этот чувак. Понятно.
What happened? The city
А, нет, это другой.
Ah, you're the consultant to Wengsheng Funeral Parlor. Mr. Zhongli, I presume. The Millilith are watching our every move now. These are desperate times. We mustn't act rashly.
Desperate times?
The Adepti of Joyun Karst are finally on the move.
Do they intend to exercise force?
Most likely. I've heard that some members of the Qixing have already gone to meet them. Well, I say meet, but it's more like they're attempting to stall the Adepti outside the city. However, both sides were quite obstinate and hit an impasse.
It seems inevitable, given the current situation.
The Adepti do not acknowledge the Qixing. They only acknowledge the contracts of the Geo-Archon. If the two sides come to blows, Liyue Harbor will be in no position to stop them.
Surely the Liyue Qixing are not the sort to give in so...
Their boneheadedness is known throughout the lands.
And what now? How is it that the Fatui have come under fire?
That's all Ningguang's doing. She proclaimed that in these tumultuous times, the Millelith must rein in the actions of the Fatui. Only now do they want to start keeping tabs on us? That's the Qixing for you. Anyway, Mr. Zhongli, you're one of Child's close associates. Please understand that your actions will reflect on us.
It looks like things are about to boil over in Liyue Harbor.
Do you intend to use your neutral identity as an intermediary between both sides? Or will you use your... Neither path is an easy...
Oh, by the way, Mr. Zhongli, we've heard that the Wangsheng funeral parlor has also been caught up in all of this. They're currently squaring off with the authorities at the gate.
Things are taking a turn for the worse. I'm afraid I must leave now to handle things back at Wangsheng funeral parlor. I hope that Master... Consider your next course of action carefully, traveler.
Having connections with the
Да я могу сразу сказать, что нейтральную сторону выберу. Чего он скажет? Какой фитиль?
Oh, Paimon gets it. If there's anyone that wants to see the whole city turned upside down, he must be waiting for the moment when no one is watching to do something really. But where could we find him now? Where would he go at a time like this?
Спать уже захотелось. Ну правильно. Время 3:30 ночи. Так, ну что, погнали таким составом.
Wow, this is the Golden House? It looked impressive enough from the outside, but who would have guessed that it was even fancier on the inside? And this is where all of Tibet's Mora is minted, right? In that case, maybe they won't notice if a few Mora go missing. Oh, so it's a trap! Tricky, tricky. Good thing Paimon's got you here. But even if we can't take any, we can still have a closer, or better yet, take a nap on top of a mountain of Mora. It's like a dream come true. Oh, right. Back to business. It's quiet. Too quiet. Surely someone's gotta be... Huh? Look! What happened here? Uh-oh. Paimon smells trouble. Quick! We have to go make sure that the Exuvia is alright.
Так отсюда видно все.
You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why do you still linger here? Haven't you already seen an...
Huh? Who's there?
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, you're nothing but dross, and you're in my way.
Нет, давай вот это.
Although I'm deeply grateful to you that I was able to effortlessly find this secret location.
Скрытое место, конечно.
Don't you think that trying to stop me now would just be wasted effort? Stopping the more immense, hiding away the exuvia. The Chising are really pulling out all.
So you've been planning to take the gnosis from inside the exuvia all along?
As one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers, it's my duty to see the will of the Tsaritsa. She will get that which she desires. I'm not asking for your blessing, and the time for discussion and diplomacy has already passed. I mean, if it were up to me, I would have skipped that stage to begin. Either way, we now come to my favorite part. A simple pledge. The battle.
Battle? So you're the type that goes looking for trouble, huh?
You could say that. When Signora offended the deities outside the cathedral in Mondstadt, she swiftly left the scene once her mission was accomplished. Instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to make her escape. She wouldn't want the knights to come running towards the sound of battle now, would she? When she faces a worthy opponent, she will prioritize her mission, weigh the outcomes, and... But as for me...
Да, что-то такое было в самом
with
начале.
strong opponents.
We won't let what happened in Mondstadt ever happen again!
Oh, so you intend to fight me? Good. I won't kill you, traveler. I'll just play along, to feel the thrill of battle. Besides, you could never defeat me, not even in your wildest dreams. But hey, try to relish the fight anyway, because if you ask me, without that... Fighting talk, I love it! Now let's see you live up.
А, что, все? Драться будем?
This chance is hard to come by, so show me all you've
Ой-ой-ой.
got. So very few ever get the chance to square off with the Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint. So quick to flee.
You did.
Try this.
You're in for a little shock. Come a little closer. Come a little closer.
Run all you like. So quick to flee.
Come a little closer.
Try this.
You're in for a...
So quick to flee.
Come a little closer.
Try this. Celestial Voyager.
Ну, что-то новенькое. Фокусничает.
So quick to flee. Try this.
Фокусник, блин.
Come a little closer.
Тихо, куда ты стреляешь?
So quick to flee. Wide open.
Come a little closer. You're in for a little shock.
How
Come a little closer.
Мгм.
a clear shot.
Еще раз.
Not bad, not bad.
Ну и?
Guess I should take you more serious. Haha, good. No wonder Signora was so wary of you. Well, that just means I can go all
Так, это уже что-то посерьезней.
This is about to get tough. Now, show me what you can do against the might of a Harbinger.
Тихо. На меня не нападай. На нее нападай. Тихо. А, он электрический. Давай так. Ну, хорошо в него вошло. Я их задел. Ну ладно. Сейчас отхилимся. Так, ну-ка давай. Вот так вот сделаем. Да, правильно. Это читер. Давай. Последний удар. Ого.
Not bad. Your swordsmanship is quite impressive. But that's about as far as you'll get. Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing us to get close to the Exuvia!
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected. Well then, I'll be taking Morax's Gnosis now. I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You beat me to it, didn't you?
Чё, трансформация? А он и водой, и молнией. А он тоже это тогда получается. Но теперь точно его не убить. Ну давай. Ой. Какой-то он страшный. Где он? Давай лучник на лучник. Ну-ка, давайте это. Хоба. Ну да, конечно. Ага. Сейчас он водный. Так, хорошо. Отхилились немножко. А чё, все что ли? Ты только костюмчик одел. А у меня такие же остались. Куда полетел? Бах. Давай сюда поставим. И а сейчас у меня водная метка стоит. Тихо, куда ты стреляешь? Оба. Не попал. Так, а что у него ульта не зарядилась еще? Хоба. Не попал. Хоба. Давай раздуем его. Мимо, нет, попал. Где он? Да хорош. Опа. Я вот не понимаю, зачем он? Куда он? только так вот. Потом чуть не умер. А потом раздуем. Нет, не раздуем. Хоба. Все что ли?
Well then, it seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too great for my body. I lacked the opportunity to think this through, and now that I consider the matter more carefully, you never had any chance of beating me to the Gnosis. You had no connection to the Gnosis, no matter where it had been taken.
That's what we've been trying to tell you!
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Signora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. Tell me, how could that be? You already know the answer, don't you? I can see it in your eyes. But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have to curb my curiosity. This battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend, even if our friendship can only be shown in battle against one another.
Pretty sure that's not the normal...
Unfortunately, I must bring this amiable conversation to an end. My quest still beckons. Given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone, then we must look once again to the beginning. Perhaps it was... In fact, it might be that the Exuvia was just a diversion of sorts.
What? So you mean that...
Yes, it appears so. Interesting to say the least. It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed in little maneuvers beyond the boundaries of contract. As such, we must now look to our backup plan.
Backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this, for the weak will be swept. The truth is, the world belongs to those who pursue strength. I seldom willingly, and unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our methods as Fatui Harbingers. Children must all learn to eat their vegetables.
So what are you planning to do?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyon's stone forest.
A god?
Osial, overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the Geo-Archon in the Archon War, and who has remained pinned beneath the waves by the Geo-Archon stones. If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue Harbor, defenseless without the do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just stand aloof and watch the ensuing destruction?
But the Archon War ended 2,000 years ago. How can an ancient god appear in a world now overseen by...
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey, those are sigils of permission! Oh, Paimon remembers now. The Fatui have been researching them.
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research. With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me as a harbinger by our Tsaritsa, using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation fails to interest me, and is largely against my principles. But knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo-Archon to show its hand, but you as well, that makes matters a little more intriguing.
Даже как-то стало интереснее. Вызывайте Кракена. Называется.
Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Huh? He's already gone. That guy is fast. What's going on?
Ну да, Кракен. Похож на Кракена. Он, получается, за разломом был. Ну, за границей карты. Которая красной линией обозначена.
Paimon's exhausted. If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we came out of the Golden House, we really wouldn't have known which way. Did we make it in time? Is the Overlord of
А, мы уже на
Vortex
дворце,
still in the
понял.
sea?
What are you doing here?
Huh? Hold on. It's the Adepti. What are you doing on the Jade Chamber? Paimon thought you were arguing with the Chising. Is the fighting over?
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have agreed to put our differences aside for now. And you...
Oh, Paimon gets it. So how do you plan to defend Lila? Just seeing this Overlord of the Vortex guy puts a pit in Paimon's tummy.
It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god's presence seems to be too much for ordinary people to handle, which is why we must stop that monster before it gets any closer to Liyue Harbor.
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago against enemies like that? So will the power of the Chising, Millilith, and Adepti gathered here be—
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion...
What? But all of you were supposed to—
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Chising did once research the matter of the
А, ну да,
Guizhou
конечно.
Ballista when it piqued their fancy. And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhou Ballista with one's own hands is... For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet, it would take one, but a little tinkering to turn this ballista into an...
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be thankful. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhou Ballista to fight off that god. All the Adepti here can lend their strength to man it. We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle begins. Yep.
The Fatui! They're attacking the Guizhou Ballista!
Дайте мне подраться.
The three Adepti are manning the Guizhou
О.
Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work.
Где кто? Куда?
All able Millilith, with me!
Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you? One wishes to
А,
witness.
это ветряной чувачок. Нет, он ударил ее. По идее, сейчас тут должно быть. Ну да. Нет, только давай без щита. Ну.
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
Ай.
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
How daring. Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
Absorption test. Stand clear. Enhanced animal module 75. The ancient god's attacking again. There are so many Fatui too. We can't.
Were you about to say we can't hold
Надо было это.
children?
Ледяную брать.
Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is adeptal energy. That light from your body. It's like the time of Julian Cars. Wow, it's Madam Pink's shockwave. This granny's really strong.
А, не, нормально.
Surrendering and be gentle. You've been a naughty boy.
Дальше бежим, бежим. А, хильца.
Guard you against evil. Cast your fear of injury by the wayside and fight with all your might. I too did this during the Archon War.
Блин, она опять.
So this is what Gunny's like in a fight.
О. Мимо.
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast.
О. Где он? А, это не он стреляет. Бегаем так спокойненько.
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
Try not to
Хоба.
resist too much.
Бежим, бежим.
Come a little closer. You've been a naughty boy.
Exercise caution. I fear that the god's power has reached its peak.
In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right?
Угу. Алло.
Let's spice things up a little.
А он их своих убивает. Ну каких своих? Всем дамаг наносится.
You're in for a little shock.
Ну, я так думаю, что мы не должны
Been a naughty boy.
выиграть.
The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace.
Потому что это уже сломали почти. Там такого не было.
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
Ага. Да, от такого взрыва. Там цунами должно подняться. Затопить все, весь город. Все, капец. Неплохо.
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Да, залп из 3 орудий такой же по мощности был. А тут они, говорится, уронили. Ну ладно. Вот чего я ждал. Сколько у нас там ролик? 1 и 2 на 4,5 часа получается. К этому ввели. И мы сколько? Ну, много. Целый час. Экшен у нас был.
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the sigil of permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of...
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason for which we came.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in At first, it was only the size of a small room. But with continued expansion, it has become the palace that lies before you now. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life. Both seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition, don't you agree?
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiation. Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today. But please forgive us. We cannot yield to your wish.
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with... Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it... Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that...
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebears, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing an... But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I...
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
Right! That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only...
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right, all right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the...
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millelith. I have come to extend my thanks. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as... Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to...
Huh? Why does everyone look so down? Didn't we just beat that big monster?
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was quite the predicament.
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millelith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of things that make the harp. Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please come visit us for the next lantern rite.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. Aww.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection. But it is no longer necessary for the city to rely on the Adepti. Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those we call mortals. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has...
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, Conqueror of Demons.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, you humans would have once again changed the place beyond recognition. Fair enough. Away we shall, and return whence...
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Qixing will not simply exploit their power once we depart? In my view, that is still...
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All's well that ends well, huh? Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one thing. Child wanted to unleash the god so he could lure Rex Lapis out. But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own. So Rex Lapis never showed up. Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the Herman doesn't get it. But isn't the
Да.
strongest lead we have the
Наконец-то диалог закончился.
that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Wang Chen's
Так,
funeral parlor.
куда нам надо? Далеко.
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangsheng funeral parlor isn't...
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him we're here?
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems he went to Northland Bank.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden House. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting the Fatui at a time like this could only mean more trouble. We had better go and make sure that everything is okay.
Да куда ты полезла? Капец у них тут лабиринты.
You call this cooperation between Harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? I'm sure you must have enjoyed that. Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And you!
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? I'm glad... Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched away from your friend.
No, don't let her get to you. You've yet to gather the powers of all 7 elements, and our last battle at the Golden House was almost more than you could handle. So it might be best to keep things peaceful this time, seeing that 2 of the Harbingers are here.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is...
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through here. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed unto thee. For my promise is solid as stone.
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're the Lord of Chio? No, wait. That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the Fatui?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you, and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky, and all of Liyue goes into an uproar. Talk about a disaster.
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over. That's what he wanted to see, am I right?
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. It is now 3,700 years ago that I founded Liyue. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun to form, and that the end of my time had not yet come. Until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You finished your duties. Go ahead and call it a day." I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I...
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained. Was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? I decided that a test was needed in order to reveal the answer. So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Qixing to play their roles together on the stage that was... That's right. Which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Liyue back under control?
Of course, and it would have been all too easy for him too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of its deity.
In the end, the resolution to all that has transpired was even more satisfactory than I could have hoped for. Take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, They commendably showed the greatest amount of restraint possible. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Chising, but in the end, they even made efforts to understand the heart. Credit is also due to Signora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything she knew in strict confidence. This, despite the eavesdropping ears of... This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the age-old traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. Thank you for joining me on this journey, traveler. All of these things turned out as I had planned. There is only one thing that I had not anticipated, and that was the conduct of the Liyue Chising. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when all was said and done, they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue as divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quick...
Huh? That doesn't sound good at all.
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was also that which I longed for the most. As such, this is the best parting gift anyone could have given this god of old.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark.
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to thank you for your performance. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo Archon, Liyue would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Hey, haven't you learned the Liyue saying, don't always call it as you see it?
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapoljarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa. Come, child.
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a boat with the likes of you.
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what could be a good trade for a Gnosis.
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. My agreement with the Cryo Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo Archon. My contract to end all contracts. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
Интересная история. Но на этой ноте мы прервемся. Продолжим в следующем ролике уже. И что же на второй чаше весов мы узнаем, когда придет время. А когда это время придет, кто его знает. Так, давай уже быстрее.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we've spent so much time trying to...
Церемония еще. Вот как раз в следующем ролике мы этим и займемся. А сейчас всем спасибо за просмотр, кто досмотрел, кто перемотал на экшен. Тоже молодец. Всем спасибо за просмотр, всем удачи и всем пока.